Hi, everybody. Welcome to our May webinar. Thank you for joining. We're just going to wait a couple of more minutes to let a few more folks join us, and we'll be right with you. Thank you.
Winnen doe je natuurlijk.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our May update. We've got some great updates for you in terms from the team, and we're also going to be sharing a little bit on where you can meet us in the next few months on the road. So I'm Vanessa, I'm CMO here at Envision. I've got a wonderful group of colleagues with me today, so let me just take you quickly through the program. Taking us virtually on the road today is Karthik Manhaven, our CEO, who I'm sure you all know here at Envision. But also joining us today is Robert, who's our regional sales manager for North America. I'm not sure if many of you have met him before, but it's great that you got the chance to meet somebody new from the team. After we talked about our roadshows as such, we're going to take a look under the hood, and that is, of course, with our CTO, Kartik Kannan. And then we are going to have open Q&As as we always do. And let me explain a little bit about that. As usual, a little housekeeping from my side. We are actually streaming this live in several places today, including YouTube. And we will make, of course, it's available to everybody afterwards for those who couldn't make it. We're also going to be taking questions at the end of the session. Please bear with us. We try to answer as many of those as we can. It always gets a little busy. And let me just give you some information on how you can ask those questions as well, right? So if you're joining us by Zoom, there's a Q&A window on your Zoom, and you can ask questions there. You can always use the raise hand function as well. And the keyboard shortcuts for that are as follows. On Mac, it's Option plus Y. And on the Windows devices, it's Alt plus Y. So that's the shortcut for the raise hand function. And then if you're joining us on YouTube, of course, there's the chat function. So please feel free to use that. Put your questions in there. Myself and the team will be doing our best to answer as many of those as we can, either live on the webinar today or actually in the chat, and we'll get back to you. So that's it really from my side. I'm going to pass over now to Kartik, who's going to take us on the road. Thanks, Kartik.
All right, Vince, thank you so much. Yeah, this has been a pretty exciting few months for Envision. We have been out and about talking to folks. In the previous webinar, we spoke about our experiences at your CSUN, the conference in the US, which was also followed by inclusive innovations event that we did in San Francisco. But then we came back to Europe, and we have been on the road again, going out and talking to as many of users on the road as possible. Starting with one of the biggest events in Europe that happens called Site City. This is an event that happens in Frankfurt in Germany. It was actually happening for the first time since the pandemic, actually. So the last event was more than like 3 years ago. So this was the first year since the pandemic that this event was happening, and there was a lot of excitement around it because this is like the biggest event in Europe that happens around assistive technology. So Envision, like, was there along with our distributors, and it was a special event for us, mainly because, of course, this was the first big event we were doing in the EU, but also because we have recently been awarded MDR, your Class 1 certification. What that means is that we now are classified as a medical device under the EU regulations, which means these devices can now be purchased by people in a lot of the European countries through the health insurance, which is especially important for a country like in Germany, where the like where stuff like regulations around devices like this is pretty heavy. But after almost a year of working through all the regulations and all the certifications and requirements, we have been able to finally get the MDR Class 1 approval, which means that almost immediately any the user or a customer of Envision who's living in like Germany can now actually get their hands on this device through the health insurance in Germany, which will also extend to other countries in Europe shortly. Because of that, there was a significant buzz around Envision at this event. So much so that we were on the booth with 8 people from our team, and we were always on our feet. We were always talking, always doing a demonstrations, and it was still not enough. Like, there were times where there was literally a queue of people just waiting on our booth in order to either have a chance to speak to us or to get a demonstration. So it was a very, very exhausting 3 days, but in a good way, where we were always on our feet and always talking to so many like users. I think this event was much better than what we could have ever also hoped for it to be. And there was so much like love and appreciation that was expressed to us by the users who came to attend our booth at the event. We were very, very overwhelmed. So I would like to personally thank everybody who were out there at Site City, both existing users of the both the glasses and the app, who came there to talk to us and who offered a very valuable feedback to us and our team as well. That gets us excited into some of the other events that we will be going into. So this year, a lot of events are happening, and we are increasing the presence that we have at this event, because this offers us a chance to talk to some of you, face to face. I think doing like a webinar online is good, but I think sometimes it's just nice to have that face to face conversation. So there are a lot more events that we will be planning to attend. I'm just going to sort of look into a few of them that we are planning to attend, both in the US and in the UK in the coming months. Those are the ones that we have finalized for now. So I would want to give you a bit more of a tease into which events that we'll be attending and how you can come to any of these events to come and have a chat with us. And in order to do that, your, I like to introduce everyone to Bob Syrian, who is your sales manager in the US. Bob, could you probably give us an insight into the two big conference in the US that we are thinking of, which is the NFP conference and the BVA conference? Can you probably give us an introduction between those events, and also explain what is the capacity at which Envision is attending these two events?
Absolutely. Thank you, Kartik. So the first event that we'll be attending is the NFB convention in Houston. As you know, every year the NFB holds a convention in a different state. Um, they are the largest gathering of blind and low vision users in the world. This year, it's estimated that over 3,000 NFB members will be in attendance at that convention. The convention is going to be held over the July 4th weekend in North America, July 1st through July 7th. Be plenty of opportunities to meet with Envision at that convention. As yet, we don't have a booth number, but my colleague Bob Rame, who lives in the Houston area, will be attending that convention and be able to do demonstrations for anybody interested, as well as update you on all the new features that will be in place and are in place at that convention. Um, the second convention that we'll be attending is the BVA convention, the Blind Veterans Association convention, and this year it's being held in St. Louis, Missouri. This is the second straight year that it's being held uh, as an open convention rather than virtually. At the BVA convention, it's a little bit different. This is where blind and low vision veterans meet with Department of Veterans Affairs, blind rehab services personnel and leadership, and other rehab professionals um, in the marketplace. They'll discuss different features and products, services, and technologies. We will be exhibiting. We have our booth number there. It's booth 103. Again, myself and Bob Rame will be appearing at that conference. It's being held at the Marriott in St. Louis from August 14th through August 18th. Again, we'll be there. Some of our distributors will be there as well, if you're familiar with any of them, and they'll be featuring our product as well. In addition to these two national conventions, we'll be appearing at many regional conventions. If and when we get close to those events, we'll be letting you know about them. And also, if you have an event that you might want us to consider attending, please feel free to write into us, either our support group, myself, or Bob Rame directly, and we'll certainly review and consider attending those regional events. Kartik, I'll turn it back to you.
Yeah. And Bob, if anybody from the audience is interested in coming, and like meeting you at those events, or if they just want to have a meeting at any of these events that you mentioned, what is the best way for them to reach out to you?
So the best way to reach out to me is to write me at my email, which is robert@letsenvision.com. You can also, if you might forget that, also write into our support group, support@letsenvision.com, and they will forward that information on to me, and we can schedule a specific one-on-one appointment.
Gotcha. All right, Bob, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was a quick roundup of the events that we are going to be attending in the US. We'll also be attending events in the UK along with our partner Sight and Sound. We have Stephanie here from Aside and Sound, who could introduce us to the events that we'll be attending in the UK. Stephanie, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, we do.
I'm not sure why there's no video, but we'll carry on without. Good afternoon, everyone. It's here we are. I'm your mate.
Stephanie, can you hear us?
And
yeah.
Hi, everyone. Right. Thank you for inviting me onto your webinar. So yeah, we're really excited. We're on a countdown now to our big event of the year in the UK, which is Site Village Central, hosted in Birmingham. Lots of people across the UK know this is sort of the big event for our communities to come together. We're meeting on the 17th and 18th of July, and yeah, we're really excited. And obviously, you're one of our partners, our exclusive partners here. So you know, it's a great opportunity. We were very fortunate. Vanessa was with us in London last November on our stand. We are headline sponsors. Site Village is organised by the Queen Alexandra College, QAC. It's an event that's been taking place now. I'll have to check, but it's at least 15 to 17 years old, and it's grown to quite a large event. It's the equivalent to the Site City I went to recently in Frankfurt. It's a fantastic event, and what we do now is we have the big one in Birmingham, which is coming up in about 6-7 weeks, and then we've got some other events that we try to get across the country. So we're in Exeter in September and back in Kensington in London in November. So it's a great opportunity. I just heard the end of Rob speaking for us to invite members of the public, end users, people within the sector, professionals, parents, anyone with any connection to sight loss and even sensory loss to come along to the event, because we are actually dual headline sponsors with Deafblind UK this year, so which is fantastic to widen the audience. And really, it's an opportunity for anyone to come along, come and obviously see us, come to our stand, see you guys who are going to be with us, pride of place with us, to try the products, get their hands on them, the Envision glasses, ask you, the experts on our team, to have a go with them. And obviously we'll have some of our other partners with us that are in aren't wearables, are different technology around equipment to help. So it's a fantastic event, and I know obviously you're going to be doing some seminars for us. So we're going to be doing some sessions where we can cover off, some questions, talk about the latest features, which I'm sure you've already spoken about, and hopefully get the message and the education out to even more people who could benefit from your product.
Awesome. All right, Stephanie, thank you so much for that information. That was super insightful and helpful. And to people in the audience who are interested to attend, I would definitely encourage that you keep an eye out on our socials. We'll be updating the details of this event as and when they happen. And if you do want to make sure you are able to speak to us and have a demonstration at the booth, reach out to us and we'll make sure that you have a spot for you at this event to get a demo at the time you're there.
Yeah, and just I want to re-emphasize, it's a free event. We just encourage everyone to pre-register, which between Envision and ourselves, Sight and Sound, we'll share the link to the QAC website for people to attend. But yeah, we'll look forward to welcoming as many people as we possibly can.
Thanks, Stephanie. Thank you so much for that information. Thank you. So that's a quick roundup of the events that we'll be in. There'll probably be a lot more regional events that we'll probably also take part in, and we'll keep you updated. But these are like the big ones in the US and a UK that are in the crosshairs for us as of now. And then without any further ado, I'd like to go to the final section of our presentation, which is Under the Hood, where we tease what is the development team up to and what's coming down the pipeline. And to speak on that is our CTO, Karthik who's going to like take it away from me right now.
All right. Thank you, Karthik. And thanks everybody for joining us today. So under the hood at Envision, yes, there are quite a few things that are going on at the moment, like at any given moment with Envision. We're working on a few things, but I kind of want to highlight 4 things that are in the pipeline right now. In fact, these are on public beta at the moment with the Envision glasses. And we're most likely going to go ahead and push them out for everybody to use on both the app and the glasses in the coming months. The first is offline scan text. So a lot of y'all really love using scan text, and one of the big asks from everyone has been, can we have scan text work completely offline? And so we've worked pretty hard over the past few months to try and take scan text and make it work completely offline. And this is going to be available as an update to everybody using the Envision glasses shortly. So you can now use scan text on the Envision glasses without having to go ahead and without having to use an active internet connection. And of course, you can also use features like Ask Envision, etc., but those would require an internet connection. Just being able to scan a piece of document is now completely available offline for you to use. The second big update that we're having from our side is we have a new Find Objects and a new Explore mode. So with the new Find Objects, we've added more than 50 new objects to the Envision glasses so that you'll be able to go ahead and recognize objects like doors and stairs, along with the usual set of objects that you were able to recognize earlier. And we also revamped the Explore mode. So the Explore mode was a feature where you can actually go ahead and have the glasses speak out all the different objects that are there in your surroundings. So now the Explore mode can recognize more number of objects. It's a lot more faster than what it was before. And it can also give you directions to the object as well. So it would go ahead and say, looks like a laptop at 12 o'clock, or looks like a person at 2 o'clock and so on, right? So it'll also give you a direction along with, speaking out more objects and along with it being faster. We're definitely going to keep adding more objects to the Find Objects and the Explore mode. And of course, these 2 functions also work entirely offline as well. The third feature that we are planning on launching is the describe scene, is a revamped describe scene. So again, a big ask from a lot of y'all have been to provide captions that with a lot more detailing. And so that's what we are actually working on. That's what we worked on over the past. I think this has been a project that's been going on for quite a few years, but we now have some recent breakthroughs because of which we can now go ahead and provide you with a much richer, more detailed, more accurate caption than what you have right now. And these 2 features are going to be on the Envision glasses and the Envision app. So those of you all who are using either of them or both of them can get the new Explore mode, Find Objects, and the Describe scene as well. The last feature is something that we are working in collaboration with a company called Envision and with Unilever, where we are going to be, where Envision glasses, with the Envision app, will be able to go ahead and recognize certain specific types of QR codes that are there on certain Unilever products. So using this particular feature on the Envision app and also going to be coming onto the Envision glasses soon enough is you'll be able to scan certain products in a supermarket or at your home from a much bigger distance than what you are used to with regular QR codes. We'll have more information about this particular feature in the coming weeks. So we'll be able to share more. We'll be able to show you a demonstration of how this feature works. And this is in partnership with Unilever and Envision. So these are the 4 things that we're going to be rolling out, and all of them are available in public beta at this point, and then we'll soon be rolling this out to everybody in the coming weeks and months. So these 4 things, I hope you really enjoy them, and of course, do give us feedback once these features hit your glasses. Let us know what you think, and we'll work on a lot more cool things throughout the year. Thank you.
Cool. Great. Thank you, Karthik. I've been playing around with those new features myself already today, and they are Yeah, really amazing. But I'm going to now hand over for questions. We had a couple come through on the chats, but I think we've answered maybe most of those. But if you can all, just as a reminder, use the Q&A function on Zoom, or raise your hand here on Zoom as well, and we can answer questions there. And there's also the chat function on YouTube. If you've got any questions there, then please go ahead and use those. Maybe Kartik, if there's some here we can answer straight away, that would be great.
There is a question that I would probably I want to answer, which is around the ACB conference. Just somebody asks that why are we not attending the ACB conference? I think it's because it's happening at the same time as the NFP conference, and we have to literally pick between the two. But maybe I can ask, I probably Bob or Syrian to answer that one. There is a question, Bob, which says, why are we not attending the ACB conference that's happening from the July 1st to July 6th?
Yes, I got an email similar to that as well. The direct reason is that, and they probably do this purposely, but NFB and ACB have their conferences at the exact same time. And so we had to make a decision where we were going to be at that time. We have had great success in the past with the NFB conference, so we selected that. There may be a couple of our distributors who are going to attend the ACB conference, and I'm checking up on that right now, and they will be able to address any issues regarding the Envision glasses at that conference. So we'll post that on our social media channels when we know if one of our distributors are going to attend the conference.
Got it. All right, Bob, thank you so much.
Thank you.
There is a question of from a Dimitro who says, when can I attend? No, it says where can I try a product in Eastern Europe? Dimitri, if you could reach out to us at support at letsenvision.com, and you could specify where exactly you're based in Eastern Europe. We do have some distributors out there who we can put you in like touch with, in order to make sure that you have a product to give it a try. You can always also just order a pair of your glasses. All the glasses we ship come with a 30-day deck period to give it a try, and if you don't like the product, or if it's not the one that just suits your need, you can always also return the product within 30 days, no questions asked, and you get a full refund. So if you do not have a distributor available in your region, that's also another way for you to give it a try. Then there is a question from Jim Hamilton, who asks, will we have access to AI features beyond simply reading a document and asking a question about the document? Jim, that is something that's currently in the works. Exactly how you can take an image of a document and ask questions of the document. We want to do similar things with images as well. And the new improvements in a described scene are a step in that direction. We want people to be able to interact with images just as they are interacting with documents as of now. So that is something in the works. And as soon as we are ready to push something to a beta, we will definitely speak about it on the webinar. But it's something that we are super excited about, and something that we are building up to. I have people who have raised their hands. I'm going to bring on people who have raised their hands onto the panel to give and ask their question. I'm going to bring in Joseph Marks. Joseph, if you could unmute yourself and ask us your question.
Hey, good afternoon. So I think this was kind of answered by you a minute ago, but I just wanted to be sure. So I have a print-on-demand company, and I have designs on my computer that are not titled. The file's not titled correctly. So I would like to try to view the file at the image and the design and be able to see what it is, like have Envision tell me what it is. Now I don't have the Envision glasses. I've tried it on my phone with the app, and it was describing the fact that I had a computer monitor. So it was saying there's a computer monitor, because my computer screen is very shiny. They said it's a reflection. My question is, how can I get around that? But more to the point, would Envision ever consider something like Ira where there would be like a web-based function that we could like ask Envision by like putting in a design or putting in a document and it spitting back out information?
Yeah, Joseph, that is actually a good question. We are working on a web app of the Envision app as well. That's something that is very highly requested. Maybe the Karthik can shed more light into it.
Sure, Joseph. So yeah, we do have a version of the Envision app in the works. So specifically speaking, we're looking to build a web version where you would be able to go ahead and import documents to begin with. So import documents or files. So that's what we want to start with. We currently don't have a specific timeline on when we will push this out, but what we do hope is to have a beta by the end of this year so that you can actually go ahead and start using it. And we'll initially be putting this out on this is a web-based thing, so it should be running on any platform, and we'll start with a limited set of features. And if there's any specific feature apart from being able to import files that you want, do let us know. We'll also include that in our roadmap as well.
Okay, so like my suggestion would be for like those graphic designers or whatnot, because there's libraries and whatnot of designs, but sometimes as a person who doesn't have vision, getting those designs and downloading them, they may not have proper file names. So then being able to have something explain to us what it is or what it looks like, then allowing the user like myself to be able to rename that file correctly.
Yeah, no, that's a good feature to add, and that's what the glasses the first edition of the web app would be able to do as well. Just be able to get an image or a document and then either OCR it, like recognize the text in it, or be able to give you a description of it. So we'd start with that and move forward from there. Yeah.
All right, Joseph. Thank you so much for your question. I'm going to go back to the Q&A to answer some of the question. There is a question from like Lidwin who asks, can the glasses be used in combination with a hearing aid? Yes, if the hearing aid is supported through like Bluetooth. So the glasses do work with most of your Bluetooth based hearing aids. So if you have a hearing aid that can be controlled with like Bluetooth, then you can actually hook up the output of the glasses to the hearing aid directly and use the glasses in that way. Robert asks, will the feature currently being developed as Ask Envision, which work with a GPT, also work on cell phones without the glasses? Yes, Robert, that is something that we are attempting to do, is to bring the GPT to the Envision app as well. That is something that we will have to build out and to see so how we can do that in a cost-effective way, because the Envision app is a free app and that's the way we want to keep it. So we'll have to figure out how can we bring the Ask Envision to a larger audience in a cost-effective way, and that's definitely some progress that we have had in that direction. So you might expect some developments on that very, very soon. I have a question from like Brenda, who's asking, who is the sales contact in Manitoba, Canada? So in Canada, our distributor is a CNIB. So like you should be able to contact your local CNIB chapter, and they will be able to answer the question for you, and they will be able to also So arrange for you a demo, as well as be able to offer you glasses for purchase if you intend to. With that, I'm going to go back to people who have raised their hands for question. I'm going to bring on Saqib Sheikh on the call. Saqib, you can unmute yourself and ask us your question.
Hello, sir. Just to introduce myself, I am Saqib Sheikh from South Africa, and I'm studying in visually impaired Islamic school that serves for visually impaired people. So, first of all, I'm very grateful to Envision team for developing such an app that assists me in my education, especially. So, I wanted to know that how can I be more accurate when using the color detection of Envision app? Because sometimes what happens when I'm using the app, it unfortunately it gives me sometimes wrong colors. So is it any way that I'm making a mistake when I'm using it, or can you just shed a light on it if it's possible, please?
All right, Saqib. Thank you for your question. So the important thing to remember when it comes to the color detection on the Envision app is that it very much depends on the ambient light conditions, right? Because we're using the camera of the glasses to detect what is the color of something. We just use what is the pixel in the center of the camera frame, and we determine what is the your color being captured by that pixel. So one thing to be mindful of is that if the room is too dark, it might say everything is like black or gray. If the room is too bright, it might say everything is white or like silver. So I think it's important to ensure that the lighting in your environment is good. It's not too bright or too dark, and the object that you're trying to determine your color of is in a center of the camera frame, and then it should be able to give you a good enough of detection of the color. It might not give you the accurate, sort of a shade of it, probably, but it should be accurate enough for you to know if it's like a blue shirt as opposed to like a red shirt, for example. So that's actually what the intention of the detect your color feature is, and that's mainly like a few things to keep in mind when you're using that feature.
So another thing was that, is there any way that I can be more, when I'm using Envision app, extracting the text, especially Arabic and Urdu text, that it can become more accurate, and the footnotes. So when you're using the Envision text and it's a PDF file, so when we extract the text, so what happens? The footnotes comes with it, and then we get confused where the footnotes end, where the footnotes start. So is there any way that we can be very, very easy for us to know the footnotes and the actual text?
Okay, interesting. Um, Saqib, that should be something we should be able to fix with a layout detection. So if you have probably images or examples of such documents that you're talking about, and if you could email those documents to your support team, to your support at letsenvision.com, then our engineering folks can actually take a look at it, and we can determine if that is something that we can have the layout detection accurately determine. So the more examples we have, the easier it will be for us to do. So if it is a related issue because of which it's not being accurately detected and you're like read in a right order, that is something that we should be able to fix in the short term. As far as the OCR aspect of it is related, for your languages like Urdu and Arabic, the OCR is something that can be improved a bit more, and that is something that we always are doing on the back end, is always improving the accuracy of all of our OCR engines. So that is something that you should see happen in a gradual way. But with regards to like layout and a reading of like footnotes, if you have examples like to share with us, that will actually help our team understand what the right reading order should be.
Thank you, Shah. I will share with you, inshallah. But it's very, very helpful. It helped me in my education, especially like since a year that my friend told me that use this application for OCR, and it has helped me in reading so many books, going over so many of my work that is coming PDF. So thank you so much for providing such an excellent app for visually impaired.
Appreciate that, Saqib. Thank you so much for that. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Taking a look back at the questions, I have a question from Concepcion, like Mendes, who's asking if we have a distributor in Mexico. As of now, we don't have a distributor in Mexico, but we are trying to look for some distributors there. So as of now, if you want a unit, you can probably order it from us like directly, but we don't have a distributor in there as of yet. All right. Karthik, can you like take over for a minute? I'm gonna get me some water. My throat is being scratchy.
Sure. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Joshua on call. So 1 second. Okay, I think I don't have access to bring Joshua on the call. Vanessa, do you have access? Do you have host access?
I'm just
to bring...
checking the Joshua. Let me have a look in 1 second. Oh, wow, lots of raised hands. One moment.
Yeah. All right. Like I can go ahead and answer a few more questions as well. There's a question from Dimitro who asks about traffic light recognition. So Dimitro, the thing is with traffic light recognition. All right, Joshua. Hey, okay. So you're on. Hey, can you hear me, Joshua? Hi. Yes.
When comes the Be My Eyes function on the glasses?
So the Be My Eyes function so we don't have a specific timeline for when we'll have the Be My Eyes app on the glasses. So we're currently in talks with them and we're working on an integration. But rest assured that, yeah, we should be having it out in a few months' time. We'll definitely keep you posted. So do stay tuned for more information regarding that on our socials and on these webinars as well. Yeah.
Okay, and I buy with my health insurances the glasses. We make a receipt with the eye doctor. And at the end, in the end of the May, I can buy the glasses with my health insurance, and this is very cool.
Yeah. And I'm assuming you're talking from. Are you from Europe? Are you speaking from Germany? Which country are you speaking from?
I come from Germany, and I buy this from the distributor IPD GmbH.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, we're also very excited to have the glasses available through health insurance in Germany. So that was also the reason why we were at Site City this year as well, to go ahead and formally launch the glasses there in Germany. So I'm glad you could make use of it.
Can the recognize the objects feature? Can this recognize here bees and any animals?
Okay, so yeah, it can recognize dogs and cats at the moment. But are there any specific types of animals that you want to recognize? I mean, if you let me know, we can look into it and add it to our roadmap and see if there are others who want it as well, and then include this in our list.
Okay, I have no questions then. If I have all answers. It's all very cool, and Envision is very cool.
Thank you, and I hope you enjoy using the glasses. Thanks, Joshua.
You're welcome.
I'm also going to go ahead and answer quickly a couple of questions that I see on the chats as well. So Dimitro Kaiba asks, is there a functionality to recognize traffic lights? So at the moment with the Envision glasses, you can recognize, you cannot recognize specific colors of the traffic light. For example, if it's red or green or yellow. We do have like very basic traffic light recognition, as in you can just recognize if there is a traffic light in front of you, not the specific color of the traffic light itself. So that's something that we have on the glasses. Having said that, we are working on a couple of updates to see if, or we are talking to a couple of partners to see if we can bring on board traffic light recognition. But that is something that we don't have a specific timeline for at the moment. Karthik, do you want to bring on Terry? Oh yeah, okay. I also have the option now. Yes. Hi Terry, Ann, can you hear us?
Yes. Hello there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. My question has to do, and I don't, with the battery running down, apparently, and it might be operator error somehow, but I'll turn off the glasses, and then a couple of days later, I go to turn them back on again, and the battery is completely depleted, so I have to charge it again, which means that I think it means that they're somehow turning on again for some unknown reason. And so I'm wondering if you could talk about, the process for when I turn the glasses off, I press the button for 3 seconds until I hear that descending tone, which means they've turned off. And then I fold them up and put them in their case. But somehow I must be not doing something correctly because they're turning back on. And as I say, depleting the battery. I do not have lenses for them yet. I'm thinking about purchasing the lens, but so right now I just have the basic glasses that I received when I purchased them. I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but can you comment on any of that?
Yes, hi Terry. Just to answer that, so if you are turning the glasses off entirely and then you're attempting to turn them on after a few days, that is actually a normal behavior. Even when completely turned off, batteries do discharge. So even when a battery is completely turned off, the batteries, by the very like nature of these lithium-ion batteries, they will like discharge, although at a slower rate as compared to when they're turned on.
Right.
So it is a natural for them to discharge completely over a period of like 3 to 4 days, even when they are completely turned off. That actually is your normal behavior of of the batteries like this. This happens to all the batteries, including the batteries in your phone, because of the fact that the batteries on the glasses are much smaller in size as compared to the other electronic devices. It is a lot more, or I would say like it is a lot more noticeable, but that is normal behavior for the battery to discharge over a few days, even when it's completely turned off.
Even after 1 or 2 days?
If it's happening within within a 1 or 2 days, especially from 100% charge to a complete depletion in a day, that is abnormal. That shouldn't be happening. It should your discharge from 100% to a 0% over at least 2 to 4 days, I would say. But if it's happening within a day, that is abnormal behavior, and we can look it up for you if you reach out to us at our support channel. We'll be able to like look into the behavior of your battery and understand if it actually is like a hardware issue or not.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Terry. Have a good day.
Yes, you too.
Okay, I'm going to also now bring Roger on. Hi, Roger. Could you unmute yourself?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yes, I'm Roger Womack. I'm here in Nashville, Tennessee. I have a couple of things. The first, I really do like your app. Was able to use the clipboard feature and move something from a document from it to my Word on the phone, and it would go to my laptop. Wish there was a app that was be able to put on the computer, but it worked real good. Uh, uh, the OCR done real good in copying, and was able to work on the document like I wanted to. So I'm really impressed with that and some of the other functions. The other thing, I talked to a gentleman when he presented at the Florida Outreach Center and asked him about distributors in my area. I told him I'd be going to the NFB convention in Chattanooga, the state convention. I went. Your distributor was there. I spoke to him on Friday night. She had the glasses, but they wasn't charged. Asked me to come back the next day, and I did. But she didn't have the Wi-Fi hooked up. Couldn't show them to me. Basically told me she was probably going to send the glasses back. So I didn't get to look at them, but she was willing to show me other products that one I could use, one I couldn't use. I need to know if there's a distributor in the Nashville, Tennessee area that can actually show me the glasses and is going to be someone that will be able to help me if I need any questions or something like that. Since she is in our area, but not going to continue from what I understand. What will I need to do to see a pair of these glasses? I am not going to the National NFB convention right this year.
Sure, Roger. Yeah, it is quite unfortunate you weren't able to try out the glasses, but I'd like to have Bob or Robert Serian take this over. Robert, could you please help Roger with where he can get a demonstration in the Nashville, Tennessee area?
Hi, Roger. This is Bob Serian. We have just contracted with a new distributor in that area. If you write to me an email at robert@letsenvision.com, I will send you the details of that individual and you can speak to them directly.
Okay, let me ask you, that wouldn't happen to be Indigo Logics, would it?
No, it
Or
wouldn't.
do you? Okay, it wouldn't be. Okay. All right, then I will try to get back in touch with you some way.
Yeah, if you just write me an email so I have your contact information, I'll write you right back and I'll give you all the details, and they'll set up an appointment for a one-on-one demonstration and be able to handle all the customer service and answer all your questions.
All right, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Roger, that you had regarding the glasses of the app?
Other than, do you think there will be an app that we'll be able to put on the laptop or whatever later on? I can do it from the phone to the clipboard and stuff like that and move items over. As far as the OCR scanning on everything, it's better than some of the other apps that I've used, and I really like it. But like I said, I really did want to look at the glasses and get a feel for them. But other than that, no, I don't get it.
Yeah, no, you can definitely drop Bob a note and we'll get you access to get you a demo as soon as we can. And of course, like I mentioned earlier as well, we do have a version of the Envision app that is for the desktop in the works right now. I can see that there's quite a demand for it. So we'll definitely try to work on it and see if we can get that out in the coming months. So you guys can give it a shot and let us know. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Right. going to take a couple of more questions. Henk Rolfs asks, what is on the roadmap to improve the overall processing time of scanning and recognizing objects and colors, etc.? So Henk, we're definitely looking into improving the processing time primarily by making some of these features work offline. Like I said, with the Envision glasses, we now have an update in the works which will improve the processing time of recognizing objects in the Find Objects feature and the Explore mode. So that's one improvement that's on the way. And of course, we are working with a new version of Describe Scene as well that is also in the works right now. So that should also go ahead and help you recognize objects more accurately, faster, and even when it comes to things like colors and so on, it does a much more accurate job of than the existing Describe Scene that we have with the app and the glasses. So that's going to be available as an update in the coming weeks. So you should be able to go ahead and try that out, and do let us know your feedback based on that. Yeah. Cool. I'm going to bring on Daniel Bailey, who's got his hand raised. Hi, Daniel. Can you hear me? How are you?
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yep. Yes.
Hi, everybody. So I've got a few questions, really. The first one being is, what's Envision's plan when Google Glass is discontinued? That is my first question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll ask one at a time, just so I don't bombard you all with with too many questions.
Yeah, sure. So like we mentioned, in the previous webinars as well, one, we do plan to continue to support the Google Glass hardware into the coming future. We have enough stock with us to meet current and future demand of the glasses itself. So if you're an existing customer of the glasses, there should be absolutely no change to the way you use your glasses. Having said that, we're also exploring alternate hardware options. One of the good decisions we made with the Envision glasses itself in the very beginning when we started working on it is not to tie it down to a specific hardware. So that means that we can take what we have as a platform and then easily port that onto other smart glasses that are there as well. So that should help us move on to a new piece of hardware once we're done with the existing stock of the Google Glass hardware itself. So if you're an existing customer, like I mentioned, there should be no change to the way you use your glasses. And if there are new customers that are coming down in the future, we can go ahead and provide them with the Google Glass hardware, but also provide them with the new hardware if required. Yeah.
I mean, as an existing customer, will existing customers get access to the new hardware as well?
No, so the existing customers don't need access to the new hardware as well, because what we plan to do is to continue provide updates for the existing hardware, the existing Google Glass hardware. So there's no need for existing customers to want to switch to a new hardware. So the new hardware that we pick will also be equivalent to the Google Glass hardware itself. Yeah.
Okay, so my last question on this before I ask my other ones, because I realize I've got a few more things I want to ask. With the existing hardware, if that's being discontinued, how are you guys able to support that?
Yeah, we will be able to support that. Again, one of the things that we have done is we've just used the Google hardware as a base itself. So all the software that runs on the glasses are entirely Envision's. So Google choosing to discontinue the hardware basically doesn't affect existing users, because we put our own software from the ground up on these glasses, and so we are able to go ahead and provide support for them into the near future as well.
Right. Okay. My second thing is, so a couple of callers ago, they mentioned they had problems with the battery. I also have had issues, the exact same issue that the other lady spoke about with the battery. So my question is, when using the cool features, so like the alloy feature and the IRA feature, what's the expected battery life when using those cools? Because I used IRA to make a call, and my battery drained super quick. Like literally, it was done in like 12 minutes.
Yeah. So that, yeah, go on, Karthik.
Yeah, so the video calling, so so any a feature where the camera is constantly active and and sort of sending a video feed over a call, that's going to be the most sort of like battery consuming a feature. So making an IRA call or an ally call end up being the most battery you're consuming your features of the glasses. Uh, that being said, Daniel, we have sort of done a tests attempting to replicate your specific case on your specific your device, and we were able to do an like an IRA call for about 10 to 15 minutes with the battery losing just about with only about like a 10% of your battery loss.
I mean, I've not experienced that with the glasses in all that I've had them. I mean, like I literally went from 100% to 0% in just under 12 minutes. I mean, that shouldn't be normal for the. I mean, I was actually in the middle of a task when I was using it, and I had to switch to the phone, which, as you can know, like the phone is not the same as a hands-free option. But I mean, that shouldn't really happen. Like to go from 90% down to completely flat in just 12 minutes.
No, it should not, and that's why it's very unusual. We have attempted to replicate your specific issue, because I think I remember about you reporting that to us. We have attempted replicating it. We don't have any other users who have such a drastic like battery drain that has happened. So if you are able to do this repeatedly, we would definitely want to understand exactly what's going on with your specific device. But that is not expected. Your behavior, I think that much is certain. It should not go from 100 to 0 in like 12 minutes. So yeah, I think if you are experiencing that, that is highly unusual, and we'll take a look into it and understand if we can replicate that issue. And if we can replicate it, then we should definitely also.
Okay, so can I liaise with you off webinar then? Can I liaise with you? Because I know obviously you're aware of my situation. So if there's a way that I can liaise with you like directly and reach out to you rather than just sending an email to support at Let's Envision or whatever the email address is, I'd really appreciate that. The other question I have is, when is the GPS functionality coming to the glasses?
Yeah, the GPS functionality, Daniel, is a bit more tricky to install because the glasses don't have an inbuilt GPS. So the way to get GPS working on the glasses is piping it through your phone, which also turns out is not as straightforward, because these like phones are very, very privacy conscious of you're sharing your location outside of the device to a third party device. So it's not a very easy thing to build, is what we realized as we started building it. But that being said, we are working on it, because we know that is a big requirement, especially for users of IRA. So we are working with the IRA team as well to figure out an easy way to implement a location a sharing for people who do make these calls with the glasses. It's in the works, but as of now, we don't really have a timeline for how quickly we'll be able to implement that.
Right. Okay. No problem. And just one final question is the one final question that I have is with existing features, are there any plans to fix the existing bugs that are in them? Because obviously I understand that like the new features are really great, but I mean there's a lot of existing features that are a little bit buggy, and it'd be great if some of those could be addressed.
Yeah, if you could let us know what specific issues you're talking about. As you have seen in the stuff we spoke about in the webinar today, it's not just we're introducing new stuff, we're also improving on existing stuff. Actually, everything that we spoke about today is improving existing scan text, improving existing explore feature, improving the find objects and the describe scene. So we're not just building a new stuff, but improving existing stuff as well constantly. So if you could share specific feedback with our teams on the bugs that experiencing, we'll definitely look into those and fix.
Right. Okay, no problem. What's the best way of reaching you off off webinar so that I can liaise with you directly about my other issue.
So I think like your support team is already in a, in a touch with the folks at like Sight and Sound, and I think they are the ones who are talking with you about this issue. So I don't want the wires to be too crossed. But if you could drop us a note at support@letsenvision.com, I will instruct our support team to make sure that they put us all in like a same email loop, where I am a part of it as well, but so are our distributors, who are the ones I think you have been dealing with so far.
Right. Okay. No problem. No problem. Thank you very much for your help.
Thanks, Daniel.
Thank you.
All right. With that, we are 8 minutes past our time here. I know there are still a lot of raised hands that I still see, and a lot more of stuff in the Q&A. We will definitely get back. There's almost never enough time to answer everybody's questions. But if you have a burning a question that has not been answered in this call, definitely reach out to us at support@letsenvision.com. We do our best to like to get back to people with a response as soon as we can. We also recently expanded our like support team so that like we can actually respond to a lot more of you a lot faster. So support@letsenvision.com is the way to get very specific answers to the to the questions that you might have. We are also available on socials. So you can also reach out to us through Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Those are the ones that we're mainly active on. So yeah, with that, I would bring this particular webinar to a close. I thank everyone for their patience and for their support. We will come back next month with another set of really, really exciting updates. Hopefully, all of the things that are currently in the beta right now would actually be out in your production. So, would be very, very curious to hear your reactions about it. So yeah, I appreciate all of you for taking the time out today to spend this evening with us, and I hope you have a good rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.